We're starting off this freaking episode with the Labor Day box office weekend. How was it? It's normally a slump this time of year, and this year it kind of did not slack when it came to the box office numbers. Box office at the Labor Day tends to be among the softest for movie-going times of the year, and the 2025 edition didn't disappoint. Overall, the 4 day stretch brought in roughly $82 million, and that's a 26% decline from
Ah.
last year's holiday. And it's shaping up to be a long wait between blockbusters, with the next major release not really being until Tron Ares that debuts about mid-October, October 10th. So, what's it gonna look like? That's for sure. I mean, we've been to the theaters this past couple weeks, and yeah, it's kind of slim pickings, that's for
There's
sure.
been a few times where I know both you and I have been the only people in the theater watching said film
Big
that we
facts.
were watching, and so empty seats is a reality, no doubt about it. But it's a little bit. It's different. It's if you're paying it, and when we dive later on into the whole AMC conversation, it gets really tricky sometimes because here's some numbers over 2024 so far that it may you're like, oh, it's 26% down. But so I broke it down a little bit. So the summer box office, like you said, is officially over, right? May started strong. It was actually up 76% versus last year, thanks to, of course, Lilo and Stitch, Mission Impossible. But that was it. Then we saw it slowly start to die down, despite industry pressure to hit the $4 billion milestone, which they thought was going to happen when it took off so big at the start. The summer tailed off to just $3.67 billion domestically. So summer 2025 was essentially flat with last year, which made $3.68 billion, so not a big difference, and down 10% obviously from the Barbenheimer fueled $4.09 billion. Now, this is crazy though. The $4 billion milestone, which was the norm from 2012 to 2019, and by the way, Disney dominated that decade, and that's why it was the norm for as long as it was. It's only been hit once in the past 5 years. Year to date box office through August sits at 5.88 billion. That's up over last year, even though the summer was down 26%. We're actually up 5% from last year. Attendance actually increased, which I'm like, where? As I just said, we were sitting in the theater alone. Where's attendance increasing? But apparently it did temporarily to 275 million admissions so far versus last summer. And the box office earnings are more evenly distributed. And this one makes sense to me. 11 films hit $100 million or more. That's up from 9 last year instead of, we all remember kind of last year and the year before, it was hugely lopsided where Inside Out was a massive hit, nobody else was. Then Deadpool and Wolverine was a massive hit, nothing else was. So that made up for about 35% of last year's box office. Everybody else was just dingling. So that's interesting, right? We see they claim an increase in attendance, although things looked pretty empty. And is that year to date total, that up 5%? And we're going to dive into this in the AMC conversation too, because tickets cost more. And they're selling more event type movies at IMAX. People are going to see them on the large screen, which, as we know, costs about $10 more than the normal ticket. Is that why we're up 5%? Or are they trying to fool us with this? Oh, look, no, attendance is up a little bit too. Is it? What do you think?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's trying to figure out what's the inflation cost, what's the inflation like viewership numbers, especially with, same day releases still in some
Yeah.
areas with some things, depending on the project. But then, trying to figure out the grouping, right? Because I mean, Paula, you are the key demographic that the studios are marketing their films for. So I kind of have a two-parter here for you. Did you go see any films this Labor Day weekend? And how many films have you seen in theaters specifically this year?
Okay. I did not see any movies this Labor Day weekend. The last movie I have seen in theaters was Weapons.
Mm,
That
Yeah.
was almost a month ago now. And unfortunately, I've actually only been to the theaters 10 times since
wow.
the beginning of the year, which I'm trying to up it, but with the prices of tickets and it's just hard. So
Ah.
we'll see. Yeah. There's definitely some movies towards the end of the year that I will be there day of, but as of right now, I'm just kind of coasting.